Same time. I'm not actually playing. You're watching pre-rendered video footage from a true professional. Everybody at home. Oh God, your audio's on. Someone make it stop. You guys are watching Serious Business. We missed last week. But for you 20 people out there who are ready, on the edge of your seat, we're not going to miss this week. I declare that we will not miss this week. All right, I'm going to do an intro, and you better be here by the time we get back. Oh. All right, then. This week we have one hell of a show. Yeah. Action-packed, lots of nudity.
So much.
Lots of blood and nudity.
Explosions everywhere that would make even Michael Bay be like, damn, that's a lot of explosions.
Ugh. Double D explosions. That's how big they are.
Yeah. Cheers, Neener.
So who else here? Anybody yet? Should we
just us and Neener.
All right, we're going to
go
ahead and warn people because people on YouTube are probably going to want to know this as well in the beginning of the show. If you guys have Firefox, click on the little thing up in the corner and click update, okay? There's a little hamburglar menu.
Little hamburglar menu?
Little hamburglar menu up there.
Is that what they call it?
It's a hamburger menu,
yeah.
yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, if there's I feel like there should be more lines for this many things. It should be a Dagwood menu, a Dagwood sandwich menu. But that goes
like you mean like overstuffed?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Remember I think it was it the Marmaduke comic?
No, you're referring to the comic Blondie.
Blondie, that's what it was.
And with Dagwood, her husband, who makes the sandwiches always big.
Yeah. When's the last time you had a Dagwood sandwich? Anybody?
Don't they have like a specifically called like the breakfast Dagwood at like Denny's or something like that? Like
I don't know.
Pretty sure they do.
I don't know much about Denny's except for 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Heavy metal mosh pits. Anyway. So that's what we got started with today. You got any news this week?
Do I have any news?
Yeah, because we didn't meet last week. I wanted to talk about all the E3 stuff, but Windows Update happened up to the 1903 version, and then after that, OBS would not work. Like no matter what I tried, it would not work. Finally discovered it was a hardware acceleration somehow got turned on for our web browsers, and that's why they wouldn't show up. This week we just tried to start, and Streamlabs wouldn't work, so we couldn't change our scenes.
Well, we could change our scenes, but last time it wasn't showing the web browser, which would have made it really hard to like explain the articles to you guys without you being able to see them. It would have been like, well, there's kind of this picture of a round disc, and whoa.
He wants to know how to block the new Twitch ads.
Wow.
I would
a wall from Murder Man. Okay, hang
on. Anybody knows, let him know, because we ain't making no money on Twitch. Actually, it's funny. We make about 2,000% more per viewer on Twitch than we do on YouTube. So even though we've only got 20 viewers, it's actually enough to like make a difference.
It's truly a quality over quantity thing, I guess.
Like we make 1/10 as much on Twitch as we do on YouTube. Think about that. And we've got 700,000 hits a month on YouTube. We've got 40 hits a month on Twitch.
Yeah.
What's going on with the YouTube revenue? Anyway, if you guys turn off ads, by all means, just buy a t-shirt and we'll call it even. Or don't, just hang out and be a cool person who says nice things.
Be rad.
But if you're going to hang out and be an asshole, you better buy something. That's the rules. You got to contribute somehow. If you're not going to be a clever commenter.
It's the asshole tax.
Yeah, you got to buy stuff.
They're not going to talk about that other?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that other thing.
You don't want to talk about that article?
Do you ever worry about companies from China starting to make their own processors that can outrun AMD and Intel? We got Qualcomm already putting their stuff into laptops. We saw the Novo laptop floating around Computex with a Qualcomm, but now we've got another company that I'm going to have a hard time saying, Zhaojin Semiconductors. And
yeah, it's very good.
So they've got their new chip, and it's going to be very low power, 3 gigahertz, and about the power of an i5 7400. So really good for business laptops.
To answer your question, I don't worry about
You don't
things.
sit up at night.
No, I'm more worried about the big earthquake that's going to hit the West Coast anytime now and ruin everything.
Oh, actual things.
Yeah.
you don't worry about
I'm not oh God, I don't lie awake at night being is China going to outdo us with technology? No, I'm more worried about my house being shook apart by the goddamn earth itself.
Oh God. Yeah, I mean, hardware used to be the most important thing in the universe until I realized it wasn't, and it was ephemeral. And every 6 months, there's a new piece of hardware coming out that's the same damn thing with 10% better whatever. Now
And more RGB.
more and 10%, 100% more RGB, 3% better performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, honestly, the most technological thing I worry about late at night is when the Risk of Rain 2 patch is coming out. Which turns out it's the 25th. So I'm really excited. Yeah. We would have talked about this last week because they unveiled their new character and everything. Rex. He's like a half plant, half robot, which is going to be really cool. And I'm really excited about that. Man, I looked at the other day at like how many hours I've already dunked into that game. I don't want to talk about it, but it's a lot. And I have no regrets on it.
You know what? Before we get into the rest of the show, I do want to talk about a medieval for just a minute. Where's there? And we can both talk about this for just a minute. So,
yeah, I've played. Not as much as you, but I've played.
I'm only on like the second, or now I'm on the third chapter or whatever it is. But so there's a few more to go, and so far I'm actually enjoying this more than I enjoyed the original Hexen. Maybe not as much as Heretic, but pretty close. Okay. So it's a FPS, just pure on fun, fast twitch shooting.
Ooh, I've never even gotten to that.
That is so awesome. It's you throw like a whole like handful of daggers. They're basically little shards.
Oh, nice.
And it sticks people to walls. It like shoots them across the room. So that's probably my favorite weapon right there.
Buffalo, it's a medieval, AMID evil.
Yeah, and this is New Blood Interactive. Dave Osprey's doing all the marketing on Twitch. If you guys haven't seen him, then you're probably not on. I mean, on Twitch. You're probably Twitter. You're probably not on Twitter if you haven't seen him because he's on it all. I don't know. He never sleeps.
He's a beast on Twitter.
I think there's 3 of him.
How do you feel about this versus
Dusk?
Yeah, how do you feel about this versus Dusk?
So Dusk is more of like the game Blood. If you guys have ever played the game from Monolith called Blood, it's very similar to Blood, and it harkens back to the days of Doom and stuff. This is more like Hexen and Heretic, and they are 2 different flavors. One's Unreal Engine. That's this. It's Unreal Engine. It has prettier graphics, right?
Sure, because it's not done to be as retro-y as Dusk was.
Yeah, I think what they did was they actually wrote a retro filter and put it on top, just like I did. Remember that retro filter I made? I think they did the same thing.
Okay.
And so it's got like this retro look. As far as like the overall experience goes, I'm liking the action a lot in this one, but I think Dusk is still my favorite. This one, I'm finding that there's not as much suspense.
Sure.
I know what's going to happen. Every hallway is going to have a few bad guys. Every turn is going to have a few bad guys. So there's no suspense, at least thus far.
But it's fun to kill those bad guys.
Oh, it's totally fun to kill those bad guys. Whereas there would be some times in Dusk where I would wander around for like, a minute in some dark corridors being like, I can hear something breathing, but everything's empty. What's going on? So there was that balance between suspenseful exploration, which is really big with all the, John Romero type games, Doom and all that stuff. And you have the balance between the suspense and the action. And this one seems to be mostly action with a little bit of, a little bit of like jumping around, puzzle solving, climbing to the top. A lot of Z variety, which you don't get with these games that much, which means, vertical variety. I like that. It's not just corridors. You're often climbing a spire or getting to the top of a thing. But anyway, I want to play it some more. I'm loving it so far, and I would rather be going home and playing that right now. So
I think I should maybe sit down and play this weekend too.
It's a ton of fun. If you guys haven't played it, go ahead and grab it. You can get Dusk and a Medieval in like a pack right now for I think it's like $37, which is maybe a little bit too cheap, but
yeah. Well, you don't like money, Dave?
Yeah. If you guys if you guys go to wehate.money, that's where you can pick up these games. So
yeah.
I got no jokes about any of that anyway, but
nah, man.
That's enough of that. That's what I'm playing this week. Back to whatever we're talking about this week.
What are we talking about this week?
What is
daily tech briefing? No.
So Kano PC is a build your own PC kit that's pretty inexpensive, $299, and it's made for schools. And I've got a bone to pick with it because everyone's writing these articles like it's the best thing, and they're playing their little xylophone ukulele music in the background, showing how it's going to change the world. And it'd be really cool to get some of this, some of these things into the hands of kids. What they've done is they've taken a small piecemeal computer. It's a tiny little motherboard with a battery you plug in, and they're telling them like, "Hey, you're teaching kids to build computers. You're literally plugging up a USB and a battery to a motherboard."
That's not building a computer.
No, this is not building a computer. This is not building a computer. So, like, there it is. See, there's the thing. It's a PCB. You literally, plug in your battery pack.
Okay.
and then you plug in your keyboard, and then that's your speaker. You plug in your speaker, and you've built your computer. I guess it's good for like a 1-year-old.
I mean,
learn how to build a computer. You
like
you can see it all
for
there.
For a kid that's never touched technology before, maybe it's like, whoa, look what I built. But if you gave this to like a bunch of high schooler kids that like have already built they'd be like, what is this garbage? Like.
Yeah, it's very, very simple.
Anyway, Soggy Slopper thought this was a joke.
It's super inexpensive too. It's $299, but for that price, you could get one of those Lenovo laptops that I've been going so crazy about, like the T430,
Man, I'm so excited.
T4
when mine gets
440.
here.
Yeah, gotta sell. We'll sell on our other laptops. We'll use the Lenovo Legion laptop when it comes in as like the gaming laptop, and then each of us are gonna have just a ThinkPad.
Yeah. Like
an old ThinkPad with a quad core. But yeah, anyway, the other thing that they've done here is they've loaded this thing up with just different pieces of software, learning software, that's supposed to teach the kids how to program. And that's pretty cool. But really what they've done is they've taken a computer that's a little bit too expensive for what it is because of its novelty factor and the fact that it's a cool form factor. And then they've thrown some software on there. It's also Windows 10S that you can disable, but it starts off as Windows 10S. But anyway. What you bringing up here?
An actual
laser turtle?
Yeah. So this was
laser turtle.
Yeah, this was a board game. I can't find the board game version of it. Oh, there it is. Robot Turtles. Excuse me.
All right. So what's happening?
So, speaking of teaching, how to freaking program and stuff.
Right.
There's this game out here, Robot Turtles. It's designed for kids. I used to pimp this game out all the time when I worked at the game store and stuff. It's designed for kids, and there's like all these different levels of programming and stuff that you can do in it. But this teaches programming better than like a lot of actual programs on computers do.
What?
Yeah, and it's a fun little game where you get to have a turtle with a laser on its back that you shoot shit at. Like but cool.
it's a programming training.
Yeah, for like preschool level kids, but like I had adults and stuff come back and they were like, I sat down with my kid and knew nothing about programming, and now I know a couple things. Like
I just finished Minecraft too.
Yeah.
It's not in Java, it's in JavaScript. What have you done? Mm-hmm. All right, a few more hardware things to talk about, then we're gonna get some fun gaming stuff. AMD's EPYC stack. They call it EPYC stack. Who said that? EPYC. This is called the EPYC stack.
No, I'm so mad. The EPYC.
It's marketing speak. Have you ever guys gone into a bathroom and looked at all of the names for everything, like everything in the bathrooms, and like a corporate place? If you go to a bathroom, it's not called a hand dryer. It's called a blower. BLYER. And the toilet paper is called like TYLT, PYPR. They all have these cool names. Anyway, just take a look at this. 64 cores at 225 watts. They haven't released the frequencies on any of these things yet. But we're also going to have a 16 core and 120 watt package.
Nope. I don't care what it does. I'm too mad about how it's spelled to even be okay with anything else about this.
That one's like, you're just now learning AMD's product names. Why would Justin need to know their enterprise-grade server products like
Yeah,
EPYC?
Seriously.
I mean, he knows Ryzen, of course.
Yeah. You're just now learning about the AMD product names? Oh, let me talk to you about all the different stats of dragons. Do you know those off the top of your head?
Yeah.
Well, no.
Yeah, you guys.
Okay.
You guys are gonna have a fight. Falcon, you drop some data on some processor, and he can drop some data on a monster from D&D, and you guys will go until you run out of things.
It'll be like
a
really boring rap battle.
Oh yes. The right to repair things is gonna take a long time.
Yeah.
Bitcoin
it's not like Mortal Kombat.
Bitcoin's at 10,000 right now.
Wow.
I gotta accept these cookies. Sorry. So Bitcoin's at 10,000 right now, but you got Zuckerberg.
I'm sorry. I need to respond to Folkwin. Motherfucker, I know the difference. Get out of here.
What?
Yeah.
Did he just actually say that to you?
Yeah, he did. That's fine. That's great. We can move on.
All right, we're not dragging this out anymore.
I don't know why, Vern, you'd say that to me. Fight me, Josh. All right, moving on.
So, what I was saying, this new Facebook currency that's coming out. Facebook has gotten into blockchain. They've decided to create their own currency. Banks are worried. Governments are worried. What this is going to allow them to do is distribute their currency. It's going to be pegged to the dollar or tied to the dollar, so it's going to be a dollar, right?
Yeah.
And it's not going to go up and down like Bitcoin, so it's not going to be volatile. And they're going to start allowing you to spend money with this. They want to get 100 companies on board and then allow you to use WhatsApp, and the Facebook Messenger to send money back and forth to friends with a small fee that they're going to collect. And that's the thing, is they're going to collect fees on everything you do, just like PayPal. But they want this to be the new money. And with billions of, subscribers, they're going to try to push this coming next year.
Is Facebook like a fucking Saturday morning cartoon villain? Because it seems like they release like some new sinister plan every week.
Every week.
Like Cobra Commander doesn't even put out as much bullshit as they do.
I know
like,
Cobra Commander right now is sitting in front of a water cooler in a tie. He's slightly overweight.
Yeah.
And he's like goes and like sits down in front of his computer and looks at this and is like, God damn it, why didn't I? What's his voice?
God damn it! That's so evil! Why didn't I think of this?
I can't do the voice. He's gone again. I was about to get up to get coffee. Now I have to sit here and entertain them while you get masks.
That's the price to pay. I don't know where Cobra Commander mask is.
All right, so this is going to be like antitrust times a million when this goes down, guys. And if you are going to be using the Facebook Libra currency, the name of it as well, right? Libra. They named it Libra
Activate Project Libra!
to put everyone into bondage. We will use Libra.
Curse you, Mark Zuckerberg!
Like, seriously? They're calling it. So this is exactly the opposite of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is supposed to be a decentralized currency that would ensure your privacy. This is going to be a centralized currency based on blockchain that will lock you to their services and ensure that you have no privacy. They'll have their hand so deep into everything you're doing. So deep in there. Oh, people are not. I don't know if people are going to confuse it with library or not. Maybe. I don't know. That'd be cool if they start buying library. I'd be all right with that. All right. Do you think this is accurate right here, this next article? That driverless cars are going to disrupt the airline industry? We've mentioned this in the past. It's just a new article came out. Wanted to refresh it. So if you could go to San Francisco by plane, take you 2 hours, but you got to go through all the bullshit at the airport. Or if you could like get in your car, which is actually a bed, like there's no seats, it's just a bed, and show up there in 12 hours, which one would you prefer? If it was cheap, also it's cheaper to go.
If
by
I
car.
didn't have like a time frame that I needed to be there
you can go at nighttime
I guess that's true.
and just like you'd be there in the morning
I mean,
rested.
I guess I'd take the car.
What about you guys? Would you, if you could, let's say you're even going across the country is maybe a bit far, but like talking like short flights, like
Just take the train. Aha! The train's been doing that for years.
the train. What country are you from?
Yeah.
Do we have such things in America?
I mean, like, I feel like this article is also being like it's going to disrupt the precious airline industry that totally has its shit together and is like operating at peak efficiency constantly. Like, the airline industry needs to be disrupted because it's kind of shit. Like,
Yeah, I'm still waiting. I mean, there's a million reasons why we can't have ultrasonic jets, but come on, give us ultrasonic jets.
Yeah.
These little turbine engines, fuck that. Give me some jet-powered propulsion.
yeah.
That's how I want to travel. All right. If you look at something, you can look at this table and imagine what it feels like, right?
Sure.
I mean, you could, right? If you look at
Yeah.
a pillow and be like, you can think about what that feels like. MIT is now giving robots the ability to do this, to look at something and predict how it's going to feel, and that's going to help a lot when it comes to like picking things up or whatnot. Like they can look at this and be like, oh, that's a cup. It's going to be rigid and smooth, so I should use this much force, and that's a pillow. I can go ahead and just grab that.
Yeah.
It's going to be squishy and it's not going to break apart in my hands.
That's a human skull. I only need to apply so much pressure to it before it erupts in my hands. Like, no
About
problem.
1/10 the amount of pressure that I would apply to a coconut.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Oh my God, coconut cracker robots are the ones that are going to be the ones that could kill us all.
Yeah.
those really important coconut cracker robots.
They're gonna be like you know how professional bowlers have that one arm that's like super jacked and compared to the other one. It's gonna be like that.
I knew something was weird when Amazon ordered 200,000 coconut cracker robots. Yeah, that's fun stuff. Should we talk about this? I don't know.
Do we want to talk about
This
E3
one.
stuff at all before we?
Yeah, you got
Okay.
let's
We don't have an E3 article, but
no, but do you
whatever.
guys want to know what we liked at E3? E3 was like so long ago. Do we want to hear about E3 or should we just go on with other stuff? You know,
Should we yell about? Should we yell about the whole like?
the whole what?
What's his face? The doctor guy.
What doctor guy?
The
What?
streamer guy?
Oh, Doctor Disrespect.
Disrespect. That's the word. Yeah.
I put a little thing up on the
do we-
website that's saying, do you think he'll be allowed back on the platform? 75% of the people surveyed said they believed he would be allowed back on Twitch. But no. You guys know about Dr. Disrespect, right?
Yeah.
Does anybody want him to come back on Twitch? Does anybody have a good reason for him to come back onto Twitch? I don't think so. So Cyberpunk.
I mean,
too many games here,
Outer
like-
Worlds, I'm pretty excited about.
Yeah, Outer Worlds is pretty high up on my list, maybe toward the top. Yeah, he got banned for streaming in a bathroom. There were kids in there and everything. He streamed from public bathrooms at E3 4 times.
Yep.
The jackass got banned for it, and he should have gotten banned for it. And then he blamed his director and fired somebody. He's like, by the way, I fired somebody.
Yeah, I fired my cameraman or whatever.
director,
Like,
cameraman.
oh yeah, because the cameraman forced you to go in there and film that.
Yeah, he makes the money, but he also violated, he didn't just violate the Twitch rules, he also violated the law in the state of California, and he may have videotaped a minor exposing himself at the urinal.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the fuck?
I mean, yeah, like it's just straight up illegal to film in a public bathroom in California, in the state of California. The end. Like that alone. And I'm sure there are plenty of pedophiles in prison that got in trouble for filming in a public restroom in California.
A 3 strikes policy like YouTube. Okay, there's not a 3 strikes policy on YouTube if you violate the terms, as in like you upload, pornography or something like that. They'll just turn you off. There's 3 strikes if you're like doing copyright infringement or something like that. They give you 3 strikes, but you're not going to get 3 strikes for breaking the law or doing something stupid like this.
Yeah.
Anything on here like that you want to mention while we're scrolling through all these games?
I mean, Baldur's Gate. I'm excited about that, but
I'm really excited about Wolfenstein Youngblood. It'll be fun. There's not a lot of Twitch-based FPS games where you get to play as badass girls, so that'll be fun playing as the two.
Still back and forth about Jedi Fallen Order. I want to believe, but I'm also very pensive.
Well, I mean,
because of EA.
Titanfall 2 was
Yeah.
a pretty good linear game, so you're going too fast. I can't see everything. Only 3 porn videos. That's it.
That's it.
Gungeon, yeah. I've heard Pedro came out this week. It's doing really well. Looks like fun. Anyway, we missed our chance to talk about this last week.
We
I think.
did.
So let's move on then, shall
Yeah.
we?
Fuck it. Let's go.
All right, moving right along.
Hey, look, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines too. All right, moving
That's top of my list.
Yeah.
That is the top.
Okay.
What's going on with this Good
This
Omens business?
I just wanted to talk about because it's fucking hilarious. So
Before you do that, I have not watched Good Omens.
Okay.
What's so wrong with it that has made the Christians angry?
I mean, it's about the end of the world and like
Right.
heaven and hell and like an angel and demon working together and stuff like that. And like an uptight Christian person would be like, "Oh, this is blasphemous!" nonstop, like easily.
Don't watch it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to your church so you can tell me that it's blasphemous. So.
Well,
anyway.
so the problem is that as easy as it is to offend a group of Christian people, which it is, there is a Christian group that got very upset about Good Omens and wrote to have it removed, except instead of writing to Amazon to have it removed, they petitioned Netflix to have it removed. Now, this is on Amazon and not on Netflix, so I kind of feel like Netflix was like, okay, no problem.
I pray at the Church of David Tennant. There you go.
Yeah.
That's why it's been removed. No.
Yeah.
So yeah, Netflix just removed it, even though it wasn't there in the first place.
Netflix lickety speed just got rid of it. Yeah. Do you follow the tenets of David Tennant? Yeah. Like,
I love Amazon's reply right there. Netflix, sorry for your loss.
yeah. So yeah.
Oh, God.
Like, get your shit together, Christian organizations. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Why Jesus is so
So
angry.
getting upset about the Santa Claus.
Why Jesus is so mad right now.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus is spinning in his grave.
Are they already bringing this movie back to theaters?
Yes. So, guys.
Am I going to have to deal with an onslaught of this shit on Twitter again?
Guys,
And that stupid looking Infinity Gauntlet?
Disney, poor Disney, does not have enough money. They are barely making ends meet.
They haven't bought in every company.
No,
They haven't purchased every company yet.
They're just barely getting by. So as a result, they are going to be putting Avengers Endgame back. They're going to re-release it into theaters with an undetermined amount of new footage. No one has actually said like it's going to be this much more footage or anything like that. No one knows how much extra it's going to be, and even Kevin Feige hasn't even actually said anything. But there's going to be some additional footage, I guess. I don't fucking know. But anyways, this is because it's so close to breaking the Avatar box office record, they decided that, like, well, let's just re-release it and make more money. Guys. Disney. Fuck off. Like, seriously.
Are you going to go see it? Wait. Before you say that, you going to go see it with the new footage?
No.
All right. Well,
No. I already saw it.
already. But what about?
I don't need maybe 20 minutes of new footage to still get to the same end point. Unless it's gonna dramatically change the entire ending of the entire fucking movie, it doesn't matter.
What if Captain America gets naked and makes out with Silver Surfer?
Silver Surfer hasn't appeared in this series yet.
Exactly.
Shit
What if?
together.
What if?
Yeah.
Huh? Then would you watch it?
Yeah, no. I still wouldn't watch it.
All right.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about role-playing stuff.
Yeah, let's talk about role-playing
Shall
stuff. So, Osprey, who is a publishing company that's known for making a lot of, like, war books and stuff like that. They do all kinds of stuff on, like, you know, tanks
Really
or,
crunchy.
like, specific periods of wars and, like, historical points and stuff like that. And they're known for being, like, pretty on point with a lot of their information and stuff like that. And they really focus on, like, all kinds of different topics and stuff related to war.
Yeah, usually appealing more to like the simulationist crowd.
Yeah. And like we used to sell the books at the store I worked at and stuff, and they had like, you know, here's all the different English outfits that they had during this particular war period and stuff, and what they all meant and things like that.
For money.
Like it was a really cool breakdown of everything. So now they're actually going to be launching their own role-playing series. They haven't really gone into too much about like if it's going to be a D20, if it's going to be like what the base of it's going to be. But they're going to be starting with 2 titles. Romance of the Perilous Land, which is a role-playing game of British folklore.
Right.
Which sounds like it could be really fun. And then the other one they're going to be doing is called Paleo Mythic, a role-playing game of stone and sorcery. That's going to be a much more, like, Stone Age level of survival and such like that.
I like the fact that they, instead of just creating a system, they're probably going to use the same system for all of these, I would imagine. But instead of just, like, giving you, here's a system and here's some stuff, they're creating a setting, and they're building a bunch of lore into the game. So if you're not someone who's going to show up with you know, your own world that's pre-built by you, you can jump into this and have some lore, have a background, have a, you know, a setting and everything like that. So, and they're also pretty interesting settings to play through. I think the historic one might be interesting.
Yeah, the British folklore sound. There's a lot of really cool and like scary British folklore out there.
Yeah.
Like I was really intrigued by this. I think this might be a cool system, and as long as the mechanics of it are fun.
Right, that's the thing we don't know
Yeah.
right now, because I'm worried that it'll be really crunchy since they release a lot of like super tactical, like I said.
Yeah,
games
it's going to be
for
like
the-
a Hackmaster table or something.
Yeah, and if it's like that, and you're like getting really into the story, and it's like, stop! Now we have to have 30 minutes of battle to kill this squirrel.
Yeah.
And it's like, God damn it, the squirrel is beyond the hill. He has a +2 because of the leaves. and then you have a -2 because you are standing in water. You know, that's going to be like, God damn it, let me just play the game.
Yeah.
Because the person who likes narrative is not going to necessarily be like gung ho about that stuff. Whoops.
No,
Moving right along. You go to hit that volume. Yeah, there we go.
So-
What's this?
So this was I had on the show for last week, but
small mining
we didn't
town
have the
hidden
show
in the
last
dark
week.
forest
So.
at the pinnacle rise.
This is called Yora
After a long and
Adventures.
exhausting journey,
And it has nothing to do
finally
with,
arrived at the local
It has
Near
nothing to
Thumb
do.
Top?
No, it has nothing to do with that. But what it is it's a smart tabletop RPG, and like if you watch, like people are literally like, okay, well I'm gonna make a charisma check on this, boop, and it tells you whether you succeed or fail. Another guy like passes an item along to another player and stuff.
Alright.
But everything is all.
You know, they're probably sitting around one day playing a game. They're like, everyone's on their phone the entire time anyway. Let's just make that the
Yeah,
game.
exactly.
Like, I have a no phone rule when
you're
I'm
unable
DM
to
unless
use
your
the gun.
character is not in the scene. If your character's like outside, be like, pick up your phone, don't pay attention.
Who are you calling
So-
scum?
Yeah,
I watched it. This is so cheesy.
it's really fucking cheesy,
I
but
can
it
barely-
looks awesome.
I can barely get through this. I can't. It's
Yeah.
too.
So you can, so like the DM can upload can generate like stats and everything for all the characters that they'll be dealing with and stuff, and you can just talk it through and send it to everyone, and it'll compare all the rolls against everything, whatever you need to do.
When you first told me this, I thought it was going to be like something you could play remotely, but you're all in the same room together. I was kind of hoping like it
You
would
probably
be,
could play it remotely with like a hangout on Hangouts or something, and then
Yeah,
still
then-
just like have, you know, as long as it can.
whoever's running the game can like
Yeah.
put a wall of text, and then you guys can do that. That would be difficult.
Yeah.
I would like a
I mean, Roll20 is already a pretty perfect system for playing that way.
yeah. We've got GURPS and some muds. Anybody know of a good mud that's you can quickly play on your phone? Let me know. Some multi-user dungeons going on. Speaking of dungeons,
Yeah, man, our segues are on point today. Can I just say that? Okay. Yeah. So
got a Segway parked downstairs and it's
Yeah.
wearing ballet shoes.
Ars Technica had an interview with some of the creators from Baldur Gates 3 and got a little bit of talk about how Larian's going to be working on it and stuff. They did mention that it's going to be using the 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons rule system, which they said is very easy to work with and really good to translate.
Streamlined and
yeah.
it works well in games. It's probably, even though 4th edition was like a video game, I think 5th edition's even more streamlined, but not, I don't know, it's not as video gamey, but still
Yeah.
works. So what about turn-based? All right.
Yeah, so it's looking like this is going to be turn-based. And so
Right.
they talk about how in the 90s when
Here's the turn-based stuff.
Yeah. So in the 90s when they Vink, I think that's how it's pronounced, said that back in the 90s when they were showing Beyond Divinity and everyone was like, "Whoa, you got to make it real time. None of this turn-based stuff. Real time. It's got to be real time to win." And now everyone's like, "So is it going to be turn-based? I would like it to be turn-based. Can it be turn-based?" Which I personally would want it to be turn-based. If it's going to be 5th edition works on a turn-based system. It would work better. I don't know.
Turn-based. That's like completely sold for me.
Yeah.
So that's 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the main thing I wanted to look at this article. Is like, are they going to do turn-based? So they're
Yeah.
like defending turn-based. So I'm happy.
Turn-based and a system that I don't need to learn because I already know it. Like, great.
I mean, it's way easier to learn systems when you're playing a game anyway. They always take it slow in the beginning and then
Yeah.
you ramp up and whatnot. So, oh God.
Yes. Oh, EA. So they're not loot boxes, they're surprise mechanics, and they're quite ethical.
I went outside this morning and there was a guy had the engine out of my car sitting on the pavement, and I said, "What the fuck?" And he said, "Surprise mechanics."
Mazel tov. Yeah.
Muzzle top.
Yeah.
The Jewish mechanic was
Yeah.
in my front yard this morning
So,
drinking.
yeah. So, Carrie Hopkins, EA's VP of Legal and Government Affairs, during an interview with the Scottish National Party and stuff, said like, "Oh no, we don't call them loot boxes. We call them surprise mechanics, and we don't understand why everyone's so up in arms about these things, because like if you go to the fucking toy store and stuff
Yeah.
and you look here, there's always all kinds of like, what's it gonna be toys and stuff, and kids and adults fucking love the thrill of a surprise." That was literally her thing. She was like, "No, everyone loves to be surprised by shit like this. I don't understand why you guys are so upset. This is basically the same thing."
Her
Like,
argument is strong in the sense that, like, you go to the store and there's those stupid little eggs that cost a quarter or 50 cents. Some of them are like $1. Didn't you buy one in Taiwan with Sailor Moon or something?
Yeah.
All right. So those things cost money and you don't know what you're going to get. But you know you're going to get like one of 5 things.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Surprise mechanics. No, those are... Is that gambling? Are you gambling right there?
I mean... Yes.
I think one of the big differences is the fact that like EA and other companies have put together systems that are designed to make you jealous of people who have purchased lots of things in the store. So if you have nothing in the store, I'm not sure if they've implemented this or not. They had this in the works. They'll try to put you into servers with those players that are more dominant, or I forgot what they call alpha players.
Yeah, so that you'll be like, they're so cool.
Like, whoa, look at their skins. Look at their gun. I wish I had all that. And then at the end of it, it'll be like, and then when you get killed, it'll be like, this guy killed you with this superior gun, and he had this superior skin. Don't you wish you had it? Here's where
I had $20 to spend on this.
Here's where you can buy it. All right, what do we got here? Surprise mechanics.
Surprise mechanics that follow the same mechanics as an unregulated Las Vegas slot machine. The loot boxes are not the only issue here. It's the way that...
The way that the thing scrolls too fast on that tiny screen.
It's the way they design the game around these loot boxes that preys upon people's addictive nature. More times than not, these games guide a player down a fixed path. The path starts off easy, showing them in free gifts or easy to obtain rewards. As the players progress, that path gets harder. Finally, the path gets so hard that a player must either choose A, accept, or B, I assume, pay money to get the things that they want. So like, yeah, in response to her being like, well, there are toys that do that all the time, like, you can still walk away without having purchased that and enjoy the rest of your fucking day, though. Like, literally, the way these loot boxes are being like, man, if you don't spend money on these, you are not going to keep up and enjoy this like everybody else. Like, the worst case scenario is if you don't get that mystery Lego pack while you're at fucking Fred Meyer is like, well, I saved $3. Like,
hey, listen, they've thought of the poor children too, you know?
Yeah.
If you're poor, or if you suck, you can just grind for 200 hours and then you can have whatever you want.
Yeah.
See, that's how considered is that.
It's just 200 hours of your life. That's it.
And you know, for poor people, time is less valuable because they're poor. I don't know.
Yeah. Soggy Slopper says it's like buying a Lego set of the Millennium Falcon and realizing you're missing some of the pieces and having to buy a box that may or may not contain the pieces you need to complete it.
But each time you open one that is going to complete it, you'll be so fucking surprised.
Yeah. Oh my God. Whoa.
I was so surprised. I got the antenna thing. Which one did you get?
It's
the round one of the...
Yeah, and like the other thing too is like the toys of mystery packages and stuff like that, they're a complete contained entity. Like, once you get that mystery little webkin, whatever fucking cute cat thing you get, that's it. Ta-da! You've got everything what you got.
I'm not sure I agree with mystery packages either.
I don't... no.
Because they're all cash grabs.
They are.
And I have a weird feeling. The cash grabs just make me feel funny on the inside. You know?
Yeah.
And this episode is not sponsored by Loot Crate, but I feel better about Loot Crate knowing that each month is going to be unique and licensed and something that if I don't like, I can sell. Not sponsored by Loot Crate this week, but I feel like they're called Loot Crate, but they're, in my opinion, more ethical because every month you get something different and it's not like a crapshoot that like, is this going to suck? Am I going to get the same fucking boots again as I got last month? And when you order from us on epicpants.com, you're guaranteed to get whatever the hell that you click on.
Yeah. Want to get something that's great and you know exactly what you're getting when you buy it? Buy it from us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
I want to do another sale.
Do another sale.
Okay.
You're the boss, man. Do another sale.
All right, summer is canceled. This is the summer is canceled sale. I'm going to start it as soon as the show's over. 20% off the entire store again because summer is canceled.
Yep. This is why we can't have nice things, so buy some nice things.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can have nice things.
Now you can have nice things
for
too.
money.
For money.
All right, epicpants.com.
Yep. So this is a quick. I'll just go into this quickly because I know you hate when I talk about Pokemon.
There was a cool Pokemon thing that came out last week. You see that really dark Pokemon anime that some people made?
Oh yeah,
you saw that? It was beautiful. I was like, oh, this is great. There's blood and everything.
And so aside from people being really upset about the new Pokemon coming out right now, which personally I think people are being big babies about it, but that's just me. So it turns out that adults who played Pokemon extensively in childhood have like a Pokemon sensor in their visual cortex. So like your brain already knows like, oh, that's a shoe, that's a car, that's a table.
Right.
Like it stimulates specific parts of your brains when you look at that. Like
So you look around, it's like Charizard,
yeah. However,
Snorlax.
Pokemon specifically, if you played it when you were a kid and stuff, it keeps a part in the visual cortex of your brain, and it actually, looking at pictures of Pokemon, stimulate a specific part of your brain that doesn't do it for other things. Like if you, what did they say? Other work found that the brains of people who become experts in recognizing a type of object, like cars, as an adult respond differently to those objects in the brain of novices. But those differences are not in the visual cortex, they're more in the prefrontal cortex, which is involved in attention and decision making rather than visual processing. So something about Pokemon is actually affecting a different part of your brain if you played it during your developmental years. Which is cool.
I mean, I wonder if it's because like whenever you see a Pokemon, you're like, your brain is activated and your decision center is activating, being like, do I need to capture that one? Do I need to, as maybe Mercenary says, turn that one into a slave?
Yeah.
He will be my monster slave.
But they said they scanned their brains and were shown images of Pokemon characters as well as other things such as faces, corridors, and cartoons, and that within the visual cortex of the Pokemon experts, there was a discrete area that was most active when looking at the Pokemon characters, and there was no such region in the group of non-players. So it was specifically, so you can't just show it to an adult that's never played it before and have them be like, oh, Pikachu, my brain's going crazy. Like, it has to be someone that, like, grew up with everything.
For me, this test, if they ran this test on me, it would be all about corridors. Every time a corridor would come up, I'd be like, what the fuck? Oh, God.
Oh, corridors.
Where's my chainsaw? Where's my chainsaw? That's exactly what will be happening because of all the old FPS games and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so what's new here on Steam? Oh, Medieval.
Yeah, speaking of Medieval.
There's the Steam page for it. It's just, we hate dot money.
Yeah, but it's 20% off right now.
Why is he making it so cheap? And no, I was totally wrong. Dusk and a Medieval is $27. Dave.
Damn.
Dave, you're devaluing your brand, buddy.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Dave hates money. Take advantage of this.
Come on now. I want everyone to buy this because it's important. Anyway, I'm having a lot of fun with it.
What do we got here?
Speaking of a lot of fun, Samurai Showdown's my favorite 2D fighting game, right?
You're in the theater.
And they've used the Unreal Engine for the latest version. And I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, the Unreal Engine Street Fighter games have had a different feel than the original pixel art sprite-based games. I think I missed the sprite. That's just me. This looks more bubbly and cartoony.
It's like the Shonen Jump video game.
Yeah, this definitely more shonen than the original.
Yeah.
Hey, fatality.
I don't know, just looks easier.
A VU meter real bad, do we? What will we do with it? Like, correct our audio? Get it up?
Someone asked someone said they main, or Neener said he mained Yukio. How about, who do you main as?
Yukio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Yukio, of course.
I never played it.
He's my favorite.
Not big on fighting games, to be honest. The only fighting game I ever got into really was Smash Brothers because I hated all the like quarter tilt, back, up, down, heavy kick, light kick, punch to throw a Hadouken and stuff like that. Like I was like, oh my god, this is too long. But
Smash Brothers, I never counted that as a fighting game because you don't like do any of that stuff. You just like smash each other.
Yeah.
You know,
Smash.
It's in the same category as Gang Beasts, which is a fun game, I feel, but you don't like do any moves or anything. They're just, I don't know.
I guess it's still a fighting game because you beat on somebody.
Yeah, you beat on somebody, but
I don't know.
It's different things. Yeah, Yukio's definitely the best.
Yeah.
I like. I mean, you could kill most people with Haomaru, but when I was
thank you, Shoteen.
What?
Yeah, I would much rather. He agrees with me that they never appealed. Like
who?
I would
Those fighting games.
Yeah, like I would much rather play like a action adventure game that has a storyline and stuff than just like be Liu Kang and beat up a tournament roster of people.
You don't want to gobble kick people. So we had names for everything back in the day. That was half the fun of these things, is getting together. And these games are not fun single player. Mortal Kombat is awful, like fucking terrible single player.
Sure.
But you get together and you're screaming at each other. And my friend would pick Liu Kang, and he would be doing all the sound effects with the game. Like we're like wah wah, and then like every time he would pull off the the bicycle kick, right? He called it the gobble kick. So that just became the thing. Like and every time he would hit me with it, he would like nail me, and then he would go like. And so that's what was fun about those games, just the stupidity.
I had that same kind of level of trash talking at Smash Brothers, though.
Everyone had like a name, like when we played. I guess Smash Brothers is the same. You yell at each other. Mario Kart, you yell at each other. And
absolutely. Stuff. Any competitive games like that you play with your friends, you're gonna end up screaming with them.
Oh,
yeah, God. I had a friend, a roommate in college, that when we played Smash Brothers, he played with Mr. Game & Watch. And whenever Mr. Game & Watch did the thing that did the random number generator, whenever he hit someone with a 9, that's an auto KO and stuff, he would throw his controller down and go 9, and then keep playing like every time.
Every time. Oh God. I could go on with stories on this stuff for a long time.
Yeah.
My favorite Samurai Showdown one was my friends all used to call Haomaru, or whatever the main character's name is. They always used to call him Hagafarian. Because his name would on the screen. They were just like, growing up in, I guess, Kentucky and stuff, people like they read 2 or 3 letters and that's enough for them. They're like, I don't need to read the next. It's H-A something Hagafara. His name's Hagafarian.
I had a friend that
that
played Street Fighter and swore that Guile's name was Gluey. And we would be like, no, it's spelled Guile. Like it's like Guile, and we'd show them the word Guile in the dictionary and be like, see how it's spelled the same? He'd be like, no, it's Gluey. It would be like, who would ever make a fucking character named Gluey? Like,
at least it wasn't like Ryu or like different versions of the game. They like, if you play like Street Fighter Alpha, it's like Ryu wins, but some of the other versions of the game is like Ryu wins. And I'm like, is it Ryu or Ryu? Like, which one is it?
Gluey wins.
Gluey.
Yeah, he thought Guile was G-L-U or G-L-U-I-E.
But you show him and he was like, no.
No, we literally used stone cold facts and it didn't work.
God, he voted for Trump, didn't he?
Probably. We haven't talked in a while.
He goes to church. He doesn't believe in climate change. I know everything about him now, and he drives a truck.
And he likes to enter to Gluey's theme playing on places when he goes into stuff.
Everywhere he goes. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So this Mega CD, Mega SD thing. The Sega CD, there's really good games on that. Everyone jokes around about Night Trap and Tunnel Shark or whatever that was.
Sure.
The games. But anyway, now you can spend a ton of money to get this Mega SD. And it's not made by Sega, but it's a license by Sega. Mm-hmm. And then you get the ISO files on an SD card and pop them on the side and plug it in. And it just works in the cartridge slot instead of having to deal with having the separate unit. Mm-hmm. It's working right through the cartridge slot. This little piece of hardware is having to emulate the Sega CD. So that's why it's $200 and something, $266. Would you pay $266
No.
for a cartridge that you could use to play ISO games on a...
No.
Would anybody do this? Like, who's going to buy this thing?
Yeah.
People who
me.
are just like really excited about...
Straight up, not me.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Not this guy. No.
Gooey is a Kirby character.
Yeah, that's true. But its name's not Gluey.
No. Maybe we need to make a Gluey character. I don't know.
Yeah, like Super Gluey Land. I don't know.
Sonic CD. All right. I mean, just emulate them on PC, but as long as you buy the original
RetroArch for the
use RetroArch and buy the original versions of the games. We always advocate that. Don't.
Yeah.
Especially
as long as you have the original version of the game, then you're free to emulate it.
Of those thousands of emulated games you have. Mm-hmm. Yes. Anyway, what the hell's going on in Portland? Shall we?
Yeah. What's going on in Portland? Let's see.
Anybody murdered anybody yet?
Police to the area of 33rd and Morris on a welfare check. Caller reporting of a suspicious male who's been humping the ground for at least an hour.
God.
Caller wants him checked on.
For at least an hour.
Yeah.
That dude must have abs of steel.
Yeah. To the Glendover Golf Course on Northeast Gleason. Report of a male repeatedly stabbing a tree with a knife and scaring people.
It's fucking summer. Mm-hmm. This is what happens in summertime.
Oh, I actually drove past this yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there was a semi on I-84 that actually turned on its side across the entire highway.
That's really inconvenient.
Yeah.
Why would he do that? That's so
I
inconsiderate.
don't know, it was really dumb.
That's really inconsiderate. He could have done that anywhere, but he had to pick right there. That's awful.
Okay, hang on, we have to start here.
All right.
So, police to Southeast 87th and Ellis report of a female holding a machete and banging on the door of a residence. Follow-up.
To be continued. All right.
Update. Caller now reports that the female has been let in the residence by the homeowner and appears to be armed with a boomerang, not a machete. Caller still thinks she needs to be checked on.
Show thread.
Oh my god.
Do it. Oh, come on.
I hope she doesn't come back.
There's no more updates.
Yeah.
All right. We got one machete. We got any more machetes
It was
this
a
week?
possible machete.
A possible machete?
Swinging a golf club. Report of a dog running in traffic.
golf
Oh my
club.
god, I hope that dog is okay. Suspect is actually upset about a different... Oh, wait, hang on. Caller, we have to start at the beginning here.
All right,
So, police to Southeast 132nd and Division. Caller reports that she just broke up with her boyfriend, and he's locked himself in the bathroom, refusing to leave, and he's also been awake for 4 days on the meth. On the meth.
That boy's in there on the meth.
Update. Location is actually 153rd and Division. Suspect is actually upset about a different girlfriend than the one in the apartment, and is known to carry a knife and wants cops to shoot him.
God, there's a whole lot of actuallys in there.
Yeah, oh boy. You know what screams boyfriend material? Someone that constantly carries a knife and wants cops to shoot him.
And is upset about a different girl, not
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Like, I'm not upset about you, bitch. I'm locking myself here and here. I hope I die. Because I'm mad about the other girl. What was that holiday? Where was that guy masturbating? Come on. Don't pass up good stuff like that.
Report of a 6 and Weidler. That was report of a masturbating male staring in the windows of nearby businesses.
Oh, yeah. Work on those reports, baby.
Ah, man, do you think he's one of those guys that, like, once you make eye contact, too, he just doesn't break it?
Yeah,
Like,
you're just like, yeah, clear that paper jam. Oh, yeah, you clear that paper jam. Yes, this is what happens here. This show is not brought to you by Lenovo.
Police to the 9000 block of North Lombard Street. Caller reporting that he was flagged down by an unknown, possibly high male, who claims he's being followed around by an octopus. Subject requesting police assistance.
I'm thinking it might be a flumph.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in Washington County, officers are trying to get a guy in the blackberry bushes. Keeps holding something up like a weapon, but it's a beer can.
I'm going to get that guy in the blackberry bush.
We gotta get him into that blackberry bush. It's the only way we can take him down successfully.
What in the hell is going on in this town? Oh, I was almost hit twice on the way to work today and had 4 people almost get in an accident on the way to work today. Like, one was like almost scratched the paint on my car because they ran a stop sign.
Man, the Washington scanner one gives way more information, like domestic between 2 sisters. Caller says she was fighting with her sister, and her sister choked her and hit her with a stick. They were fighting over yard debris. Ages 63 and 65. They both live there, and the mom is out of town. That is so much information. Oh my god.
Yeah, but you know what this tells me? This tells me that our society does not have enough peril. That we are too cushy. Everything's just too nice. If we can live until the age of 63 and 65, and the only thing we can find to fight about is fucking yard debris, then we've got it too easy. That's what I'm saying right now.
Report of that a female has soiled herself, appears under the influence, has her pants down, and is defecated all over at least one of the front doors of a business, possibly masturbating.
Everybody move to Portland. Come on. Everybody move to Portland.
Report of a drunk male inside the DMV on Southwest 6. Report of a drunk male inside holding a beer, subject now leaving but told employees, "I'll be back," while walking out the door.
Can't wait for the update. Drives through a door running
Oh
over
my
receptionist.
god. Okay,
God.
You know it's bad. Southwest First to report of a serial masturbator in front of building security is watching from afar. Masturbator is known to fight with the police upon contact.
Cereal.
There are 2 things I do: masturbate and fight with police officers.
You want some?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Subject on the corner making their dog drink beer.
Okay. Sure. What?
Okay. Report of a female watching a backpack float down the river. Subject told caller that her baby was in the backpack. Told another witness it was her pet. It was her pet baby. Okay.
Which is it? I mean, both probably. Okay.
Okay, let's see. That's armed with a knife chasing a park ranger.
What is going on in Portland? What in the hell
maybe
is going
we
on
should-
the last week or so in Portland?
Maybe we should, like, not let people have knives.
I
Report of a naked 50-year-old male trying to get into some apartments. Great.
sure. Guys, this started off funny and it's not funny anymore.
Yeah.
Portland gets usually a bit more ridiculous in the summertime, and the reason that it gets more ridiculous is a lot of the they call them transients, but I'm going to call them homeless or whatever. A lot of the communities and other places that are too hot, like LA, Texas, and that sort of thing, they can get a bus ticket up here for like $50. So they save up $50. They come to Portland. Portland also has really good programs for the homeless. They have very good soup kitchens, and they try to give people beds and stuff
And
like that.
we're whatever city,
You can build a tent anywhere.
a sanctuary city.
Yeah,
We're a sanctuary city.
And there's also no laws against vagrancy, so you can build a tent on any corner. Like
Yeah.
as long as you're on, like a sidewalk or something, you can build a tent. So they all come here for the summertime because it's not as hot as it is wherever they are before. But then when it gets to be the winter, they get the hell out of here. But and when I first moved here, they're like, "Watch out for the road warriors," and I was like, "What?" And apparently, the population of homeless swells in the summer, and they call them the road warriors.
Yep.
They all show up, but they're not. I'm
Hi,
not.
skull meat.
I haven't had anyone like be mean or whatever. Like no one's ever like come up and like tried to fight me or anything. They've asked for a cigarette. A dude out front asked for a cigarette the other day. So I was going down to my car, and he like got close to my car, and he's like, "Hey man, you got a cigarette?" And I came around really quickly to the other side of the car where he was because I needed to put some in the back seat. And I was like, "No, I don't have a cigarette." And he saw that I was way bigger than him. And he like almost fell into that saying, "Don't hit me." And I was like, "No, man, I'm not going to hit you." It's like, you just asked for a cigarette. What am I going to come around and punch you in the face? How dare you ask
Son
me
of a bitch.
for a cigarette? Did you just assume that I smoke?
Got 2 more.
God, wait, there's more. Jesus.
Because we missed last week. So, police to Southwest 5th and Jefferson report of a disturbance. Female pulled a hatchet out of her suitcase and is threatening people. Later, update, officer contacting the female with the hatchet. Subject has put the weapon back in her suitcase. Told officers she's just having a bad day.
Just pull out my hatchet whenever I'm having a bad day.
Finally,
There's more. God.
Finally, police to Northwest 21st and Everett Street report of a suspicious subject on the southwest corner. Male with his pants around his ankles yelling at the sky.
I feel for that guy. Folkman is right. There are laws against excessive. So there was someone operating a bicycle repair shop on the street with giant racks up, and there were about 20 bicycles there. They were repairing like all the bikes for all the other homeless guys, right? And they were forced to move. I've seen that. They've been like, "Okay, that's enough, guys. You guys are now coming into the street. People can't park here."
Yep.
So there's laws against that. But if you're just putting up a tent and people can walk around, So
Yeah.
So if you're gonna be homeless, head up here. I'll buy you a cigarette, chocolate cigarette.
We apparently want you to be here.
Yeah, this is where you belong. Anyway.
All right.
I had more stories, but I'll save them for later. There's some funny shit happening around here. I want to say, I was talking to Christian the other day about finally getting back to working on some stuff in the Unreal Engine, and he was like, "Why don't you make a new shirt that looks like a Double Dragon like box art cover, but have it be Portland and everyone's got machetes and stuff?" And I was like,
Nice.
"That's a pretty good idea." Like, it's a pretty freaking good idea. I don't know how many people would buy it because how many of our audience is in Portland or cares, but
Yeah. Keep Portland machetes.
keep Portland Machete.
Yep. All right.
We just make a game called Portland Machete. at
Yeah,
this
Super
point.
Portland machete.
Super Portland
Yeah.
Machete.
If you throw super in front of it. Yeah.
It does. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out.
See you guys later. Have a good weekend.
Where's the button? We gotta have smoke. It doesn't feel right. I want smoke.
Okay.